All right, the recording is officially started, and we are doing something a teeny bit different today. So, first things we're going to do is have a small little chat as a whole, okay? Well, not the whole fifth grade. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, plus 13 is 24. So I have a little less than half of you right now with me. And I'm going to have this exact same chat with the other two classes today when I have reading. But can someone tell me what day of school it is? Does anyone know? Jaden. No, I meant the number. What number school day is it? Abigail? No, that would be the day of the month. So let's try again. Today is the 112th day of school. So that is how many days of school we have been in. Even though some of them we've been at home, some of you have been home this whole year. Sometimes we've been having e-learning days. Sometimes we have virtual days. Sometimes we're in person. But it is the 112th day of school. That means after today, we're only going to have 68 more days to finish out fifth grade. And this is Mrs. Kneiffel's come to life moment about how I want all of us, the rest of fifth grade, to literally try our personal best. And I know some of you right now can say, hey, you know what? I have been doing all I can. But I know other of us can definitely say that you have not been doing all you can and you have not been doing your personal best. And I really think there are so many of you that can do so much better. We are in February, only 68 more days. We are already over halfway through the third 9 weeks. And then all we have left is the fourth 9 weeks. Shh, Connor. I literally have already said it. 68 more days of school left. So I just want to have this conversation about how we, as a whole fifth grade, need to be better. Not just in reading class, but in all classes. But we really need to start working our hardest in reading class because Mrs. Kneifel was really thinking, and I cannot think of a single job that you do not need reading for. Every single job you are ever going to have, you're going to need to be reading. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom someday or a stay-at-home dad someday, you're still going to need to be able to read. You're going to need to be able to read directions. You're going to need to be able to read things at a grocery store. If you're a famous athlete, you're going to need to be able to read contracts. You're going to need to be able to read emails. You're going to need to be able to write emails, okay? If you are a construction worker, you're going to have to be able to read plans and read a tape measure and also read memos, read papers, read things from your boss. Every job I can literally think of, and Mrs. Kneifel spent a lot of time thinking of jobs this weekend, you're going to need to learn or you're going to need to read, okay? And all of you know how to read already, which is fabulous. I'm super proud of you. All of you know how to read, but I know some of us are not doing our personal best in reading because I read your guys' stuff. I know there's so many of you, but I do my personal best to read through all your stuff in a timely manner. I read through your guys' vocabulary sentences every single week. And do you know why we're still doing vocabulary sentences? Because every single week, I'm still having people forgetting punctuation, forgetting capitalization. Those are mistakes that are, in my opinion, kind of lazy. It's totally different. Every once in a while you miss it. But if every single week you are missing capitalization and punctuation, you're choosing not to do it. Okay? So that's why we still do vocabulary sentences, because people are still choosing not to do the right thing. We still practice radar every single week. Well, one, because we can always get better at radar, but because people are still choosing not to do it. I have people on the weekly assessments that literally will type me one word. I have people on the weekly assessments that don't even type anything. They just go to the next one. And that is obviously not our personal best, okay? Not personal best. Also, Mrs. Kneifel does her personal best to comment back on your guys' assignments. That way you can get feedback. If I tell you like, oh, you forgot capitalization or oh, your sentence doesn't make sense, something like that, I'm not asking you to apologize and say sorry. I'm just telling you why you missed points and how you can get better for next time, okay? Lots of you are like, oh, sorry. Like, I'm not asking you to be sorry. I'm just telling you, hey, this is why you missed points. Next time, let's make sure to not miss that point, okay? Also, where was I going with this? I forgot. But anyways, I just know from the beginning of the year, okay, so we've already been in school for 112 days. From the beginning of the year, I feel like you guys have already grown so much. Like, I enjoy reading your guys' writing so much more because how much better you guys are at it than you were in the beginning. but I want us to really work our hardest through the rest of the year because I know we can get even better, okay? Like Mrs. Kneifel is like almost in panic mode because I only have 68 more school days with you guys, and then you guys are gonna leave me, you guys are gonna move on to 6th grade, and then I'm gonna be so sad. So I just want us to start doing our personal best all the time, okay? In reading class, in science class, in social studies, I know we can do better. And I know specifically sometimes it's hard to do better, right? I totally understand. This year's a weird year, right? Nod your head if this year's a weird year. Obviously, things are a little crazy. Things are a little bit different. But your job is to do school, and your job is to do your personal best in school. So I know maybe you go home and maybe there's a video game or maybe there's something else you'd rather do. Hey, guess what? If you sit down and finish your homework, then you have the rest of the evening to do stuff. Every night, Landon, every night, Mrs. Kneifel has schoolwork to do too. Every night I get on my computer at least, or I send some emails, or I'm planning. Every single night I have work to do too, okay? And I'm getting it done, and I want to see you guys really get it done, okay? So this is my little pep talk. I'm not trying to make anyone sad. I'm just saying that I want to see us get better because I know you guys have already grown so much. I'm not kidding. I'm so impressed even from just the beginning of the year till now. You guys have really grown in reading specifically, but I want to see us get even better. I don't want to have to be commenting on why you guys are missing points. Instead, I just want to be saying good job, okay? So I want to see you using capital letters and punctuation when you need to be using capital letters and punctuation. I don't want to have to say on your report cards in 4 weeks that you didn't get all your AR points because there's no reason for us not getting our AR points. You guys have 9 full weeks to read. We should be getting those points, okay? So I want us getting those points. Landon. What? I'm going to tell you, Mrs. Kneifel, I mean, I do lots of stuff too, but if you go to the grocery store with your family on Thursday night, do your homework in the car. Do your homework when you get home, when you're unpacking it. There is no reason, if you have a basketball game, guess what? You still have to do your work. I cannot think of a single excuse. That's a lie. If you broke your arm and were in the emergency room all night, you know what? I'm going to understand that you didn't get your homework done, and that's okay. If there's some type of emergency where someone is literally physically harmed or ill, you were in a car accident, something like that, hopefully that doesn't happen, that would be a reason not to do your homework. But because your parents went to the grocery store, or because there was a really important movie on, or because your sister had a basketball game, those are not good reasons. You can do your homework at your sister's basketball game. You can do your homework in the car. I don't know. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe you know you didn't do your homework, so maybe you're going to get up 10 extra minutes early and you're going to get it done before school starts. Okay? Or maybe you're going to be a responsible person and you're going to come to your teacher and say, you know what, Mrs. Siddick, I did not do my homework last night. I already finished my morning work. Can I take the next 5 minutes to finish it? We need to start being responsible. And that is really what this whole talk is. It's about being responsible because some of us are not taking charge of our own learning. And can Mrs. Kneifel force you to learn? No. Can your parents force you to learn? No. Can anyone force you to learn? No. No.
Actually, yes, you can.
Connor. Shh. Landon. Connor. Would you like to leave the classroom? Because this is what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about being responsible and doing the right thing all the time, okay? Mrs. Kneifel could tell you to use a capital letter till I'm blue in the face, but if you never take the initiative to do it, it's not going to get done. You have to want to do a good job, okay? And some of you guys need to want to do better because, like I said, you are going to need to be able to read for every single job you will ever have. You are going to need to be able to use capital letters and punctuation for every single thing you ever do. Even if it's writing a post on Facebook when you're older, you're going to need that capital letter and you're going to need punctuation. Okay? So this is just my mini pep talk. I was thinking about it all weekend, and I was just thinking about how I want you guys to do better. I think you guys can do better. I know you guys have already grown so much, but I know you guys can do better. So that was my mini pep talk on how I want you to do better. Does anyone have any questions? Legitimate questions? Anyone? Question? Okay. Well, now that my spiel is over. Oh, wait. No, stop. I'm sorry, Molly. I'm in Mrs. Siddick's room. Otherwise, if it was in my room, you know it'd be straight. Anyways, do your e-learning from Friday, because we had an e-learning day because like the crazy weather, the snow and stuff, you need to make sure to get it done. I just looked before I came over here, and I think there's like 20, almost 30 of you that did not finish it. And if you didn't finish it, it's not late yet, but it needs to get done. Okay, so get it done. I've graded almost all of them that are up. I have not put the grades into PowerSchool yet, though, so I will get that done. Bryden, shut your computer. Angelina, do you have a question?
No, I was just saying that we may think it's tough now, but like literally yesterday, my brother was up here and me and my sisters didn't get to hang out with him that much because they had to read almost like 20 chapters in one book in one day. And it had to be done literally the next day.
Right. So that's the thing. If you guys start taking responsibility and like learning good study habits and good work habits, like, okay, I'm going to get home from school. My work habit is going to be to finish my work, then, to have a snack, and then do whatever my family needs to do. Get your work done first. That's a good habit to make because as you get older, there's only going to be more work. Not saying that work, schoolwork is your whole life, but schoolwork should always be your number one while you're in school because it is technically your job right now. So you have homework in 5th grade, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have homework in 6th grade. And then when you get in 7th grade, you have a homework for all your classes and so on and so forth. If you learn good study habits now, that's important for later. Okay?
Hey, just want to say,
have to
also
move
when
on
you're on
to
the
6th grade.
bus,
Okay, I'm gonna
when
fill
you're on the
Connor,
bus, you can
someone
also-
virtually is trying to talk, and I cannot hear them because you're shouting out. Mark.
Also, when you're on the bus, you can just do your schoolwork.
Right,
I mean,
on the bus.
that's what I always do.
You got to do something. Maybe you should whip out your math book and do it on the bus. I don't know. I can think of so much extra time. That's okay, Angelina. I can think of extra time all the time for you guys to get your work done. Because you know what? Mrs. Kneifel has to get her work done, right? Mrs. Kneifel gets her work done. So anyways, I'm not saying all of you aren't doing your personal best, but I know some of you could be doing a better job. But some of you guys really rocking it. And everyone, for a fact, I know has grown in some perspective this year. And growth is really what I'm all about. Okay? Mia.
Out of curiosity, when you go on a vacation and you, for instance, don't do work when you're on vacation, does that
Okay, well that's different because you gotta that's a different situation.
Would it all count as missing though?
You have like the number of days you missed of school to make it up.
Oh.
All right. So now moving on from that soapbox onto another soapbox. And I want everyone to be super honest right here. Okay. Like totally honest. How many of you, raise your hand. If you're at home, raise your hand. If you're here, we're being super honest. This is not mean comments, but how many of you don't love reading out loud in front of the class?
That's actually a math for me.
All right. So look at, if you guys were here in class, look around. Look at how many people. Okay, you guys can put your hands down. Thank you guys for participating at home. Look at how many of us don't love reading out loud in front of the class. I'm going to tell you a little story about Mrs. Kneifel. Mrs. Kneifel, I teach reading now, but when Mrs. Kneifel was a kid, I was terrible at reading. Literally, it took me till 3rd grade to learn how to read at all. I was very behind as a kid, and I absolutely hated it. And I always hated to read out loud. It was like my biggest fear in life. In high school, I was in a chemistry class, and everyone knew I hated to read aloud. And the teacher did this thing called popcorn reading, where you got to call on someone, which is totally fine, but you didn't have a number of times you could get called on. So she would call on someone, and then they would call on me, and then I would call on someone else, then they would call on me, and I would get called on and get called on and get called on because everyone knew I hated to read aloud, and they just like to torture me. But I know reading out loud is such a struggle for so many of us just because it's nerve-wracking, right? You don't want to mess up. You don't want to sound silly. There's so many fears about reading out loud. And Mrs. Kneifel felt every single one of those my whole life. Sometimes I still feel them when I read out loud just because I get my brain works faster than my mouth sometimes. So I totally understand you if you hate reading out loud. And just because we hate reading out loud, I shouldn't say hate because we shouldn't hate things. But just because we dislike reading out loud, guess what? We still have to do it because there's this thing called fluency. Fluency is at the rate you read and you know that it's nice and smooth. And when we see commas, you breathe. And when we have periods, we take a pause. Okay. So we do not practice fluency enough here in 5th grade. Okay. We have almost practiced fluency 0 in 5th grade. So that is what we are going to do the rest of this class for, well, at least like 10-15 minutes. Then we are going to maybe ARV depending on what time it is. So we are going to practice fluency today. And fluency is simply reading out loud. Obviously, you people at home, I won't be able to hear you read out loud, But I want you to honestly pick up a book and either read it to yourself, go read it to your dog, read it to your mom and dad, read it to someone in your house for at least 10 minutes. I don't care where you're reading from. Those of you in class, I'm going to partner you up and you're going to pick any book in your desk, and I don't care what it is. And you can flip to any chapter or any page, and you're going to read it out loud to a partner. And you know why you get to pick any book or any chapter? You know why? Because your partner is not going to know what you're reading. So that takes the pressure off. They're not going to be following along with you. They're just going to be listening. You're just going to be reading to them. So if you mess up, guess what? Your partner's not going to know. You're just going to continue on, okay? Right. We just want to be confident. That's one of the things. You hear Mrs. Kneifel mess up in reading all the time, right? And what do? I go back and I correct myself and I don't make a big deal out of it. Sometimes I do because I make silly mistakes. But the goal is just to practice our fluency. And we have not practiced fluency like it all this year. And Mrs. Kneifel was just thinking, oh my gosh, we have to practice fluency. So that's what we're going to do today. So, I've never actually done breakout rooms, Angelina, so I'm not totally sure on how to do that. Oh wait, maybe I can. Maybe I can put you guys into breakout rooms. Everyone that's virtual, you stay on for 1 second. I'm going to figure out. I'm looking right now at the breakout room thing. I'm looking at it. I've just never done it, so give me 1 second, okay?
At this point, we're all about it.
I see the breakout room. Everyone here online, give me 1 second while I pair up the kids in school. Then I'm going to come back and I'll try to pair you guys up, okay? So you guys at home, find yourselves a book right now. I don't care if it's your Reading RTI book. I don't care if it's your AR book. Find a book. Everyone else in class, I'm going to pair them up. So you guys hold on.
At this point, we're all bad at something. So if you're afraid to read and if they pick on you and kind of like that, you should always just go back for revenge and do it to them.
Okay, no, we're not being revengeful. We're not going to do stuff to them. We're just going to get
That's
better at
not
it.
what I'm saying.
So you guys at home, stay there. Okay, let me try to set up this breakout room. So anyways, once I set up this breakout room, if I figure out how to do it, all you're doing is reading out loud to a partner. You can read any random book because the person across from you isn't going to know what you're reading. So if you mess up, it's no big deal. The goal is literally just to practice reading out loud to someone because we do not practice that enough and we need to get better at it. So if I throw you into a breakout room, hopefully it works. We'll see. Set up breakout rooms. Oh, wait, it just works. Okay, I think you guys it's going to put you into rooms and you guys are going to read aloud, okay? I think that's how it works. And then I think I can end the rooms and then we'll come together before I set you guys free for the day, okay? So I'm going to open the rooms now and we'll see how it goes. All you're doing is reading aloud, okay? Any book. Remember, the point is not to know what they're reading. You're just listening. Are they taking pauses? Are they taking breaks? You're literally like a dummy they're just reading to. Okay, just a random person they're reading to. The goal is to not understand what they're saying or to not understand their book. They're just practicing reading to you. Okay, yes. Oh, you guys can just switch maybe a page and a page, a page and a page, however long. A paragraph, however long you want to read than the other person. Hello, Eden. You left your room? Oh. I'm sorry. Well, you can read out loud to me if you want. I don't have a partner. If you want, you can read out loud to me for a minute. I'm listening.
A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house. That's a quote from the Bible, King James Version. It turns out this applies to YouTubers as well. Here I am, ready to shoot the greatest video in history of humanity. And I can't get anybody to help me. Come on, you guys. I plead with my fellow Vitans, members of Hiwahatha Middle School's video club. You can't all have dentist appointments. It's against the laws of probability. All right, you got me, admits Hugo Berg, raising his hands in surrender. I don't have a dentist appointment. The reason I won't help you is because you're completely out of your mind. What do you care? I shook back. I shoot back. That's my problem, not yours. I'm not asking you to do the hard part. I just need someone to be my wingman. Shoshana, will you help me, right? You'll help me, right? Not in a million years, is her reply. You're going to get yourself in trouble. I'll put your name on YouTube as a co-producer. I wheedle. Oh, good, she drawls. It'll help the cops spell my name right when I get arrested. I'm out, Brendan. And you'd be out too if you had my name, if you had any sense. So it's no. No from Hugo, no from Shoshana, no from Barton, no from the whole video club. Marcia even suggests that I should see a mental health professional. I slump against my locker, watching them walk away, deserting me. Where's the loyalty? Where's the club spirit? Where's the fire of creativity? The betrayal stings, but mostly I hate to miss out on this idea. It could be the next thing that goes viral, but it can't go viral if it never gets made. I look around the crowded hall, kids loading up backpacks for dismissal. Do I know anybody? Actually, I know just about everybody, but none of them will meet my eyes. I'm not the most popular guy at school, I'm not sure why. But I'm on the honor roll, president of the video club, champion of the academic declaration.
Decathlon is what that word is. That's a big one.
Decathlon. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 2 years running. Come to think of it, those are probably some of the reasons why kids aren't lining up to ask what I'm doing after school today. Nobody even acknowledges my existence. Then, out of passing parade, someone notices me, hunkered down beside my locker. Oh man, it's Chase. That's all I need to put the finishing touch on this perfect afternoon. Bad enough I can't shoot my video. I don't need to hang beside the waistband of my underwear off a peg in the girls' changing room. I'm not sure how many I should read.
That was pretty good. Thank you. You did a really good job reading. That's good. So you could stop there. I just asked everyone else to come back from their breakout room. So just hang out, Eden, and then everyone else will join us in just a minute. And then I'm going to call the class back together. But you did a really good job, Eden. Thank you for reading to me. We're just waiting for everyone else to come back.
That was fun.
The other day, I figured out how to crack my back on my bed.
All right, my lovely friends. If you can hear my voice, put your hands on top of your head. If you can hear my voice, put your hands on top of your head. Thank you. You guys may sit down. Thank you, those of you that are out of your breakout rooms and are here. I was having trouble like joining back and forth your guys' meets because Mrs. Kneiffel's not that savvy with breakout meets, but I did get to hear Eden read, and she did a great job. I also heard all of you guys read in here, and for the most part, I did hear a lot of like not crazy long pauses. So Eden, you did a great job correcting yourself if you made a mistake. So thank you, Jaden and Bryden. Thank you all for participating. Like I said, that's just something we need to practice. So every night for homework, you're supposed to read for 20 minutes. Guess what? It would not hurt you to read out loud for 5 of those minutes. So read to yourself for 15, maybe read out loud to your dog or to your parents or something for 5 of those minutes. Like I said, reading out loud is just so important. That's just a good skill to have. And I know it's really hard and it's super nerve-wracking in front of people. Nod your head if you felt better just reading to one person instead of everyone. Yeah. I know if I was a kid, I would have preferred to just read out loud to 1 or 2 people maybe instead of the whole class. Mia?
Sometimes John's makes us, like on the Google Meet, makes us unmute and talk about our whole presentation, and it scares me.
Oh, well, actually in reading, that's another thing. I'm thinking about maybe doing a giant reading project the last 9 weeks. We'll see. So you might have to do that. But anyways, so thank you guys for joining. Now, I was going to have you guys AR read, but I thought of one more thing we should do really, really quick. Because Module 4 ended, right? That was your last, well, unless you haven't finished your test from Friday, then it's not ended for you. But if you already finished your test on Friday, Module 4 ended, okay? Woohoo! Goodbye, Module 4. But that means what comes after Module 4? Module 5. And I was just going to quickly talk about what Module 5 is about. Module 5 is titled, dun, 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 dun. Module 5 is titled Project Earth. So, dun 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 dun, Project Earth. You're like, Mrs. Kneifel, what does that mean? What do you think Project Earth might be about? First off, we know what Earth is, right? That's where we live. It's our planet. Bryden, shut your computer, please. I don't know why it's open. Project is normally something that we do. Connor, shut your book. It doesn't need to be open. Project's something that we do. Like if we were going to do a math project, you know, maybe we'd have to make a diagram or something along that nature. So what maybe my Project Earth module, I'm walking this stuff, be about? Abigail, and then I'll call on you, Mia.
Like doing stuff for the earth, like
That's a good
cleaning up or cleaning up trash or like.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear Abigail at home, she said maybe doing stuff for the earth, like cleaning up trash or things about that nature. So maybe Project Earth doing stuff to help our earth. Mia?
Helping the earth, that's what I was gonna say, and like ways to help it, like recycling and like using less power.
Okay, so Mia, in case you didn't hear her, she said helping the earth, specifically recycling, ways to use different power. Maybe those are going to be some of our stories in the future. Bryden, what do you think Project Earth might be about? Connor. All right, those are some good things. So Bryden said overall, maybe it's just making the world a better place and reminding us about things we should do. Like if we cut down a tree, we should plant another one, or not putting things in the ocean around that nature. Landon, what do you think? Okay, so maybe it's not about like what's on outside and what we're living in. Maybe it's more scientific, what's inside the earth and like, you know, underneath us and stuff. Ethan?
What if it's about like environment?
Okay, so what if it's about different environments, different ecosystems? All of those were super good guesses. Go you. So our essential question for the module, the question that goes along with the entire module is, how can caring for the earth and its living things improve life now, but also improve life in the future? So that's what we're going to be thinking about through the next 5 weeks while we do this module. How can helping the world now and its living things, including the animals, the fish, the trees, the plants, us, how can helping us today help the future as well? So that's what we're going to be thinking about over the next 5 long weeks with this module. We will tomorrow do our vocab. So today. Thank you guys for doing something a little bit different with me. Thank you for listening to my spiel about how we're going to become better readers, but more responsible. Just, we're going to be better. Okay? Everyone say, I'm going to be better.
I'm going to be better.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys at home. There is still 6 minutes left in reading class. During that 6 minutes, I A, want you finishing your assignment from Friday if you didn't do it, or B, reading for AR. Those are your two choices. Thank you for joining, guys. You guys in here, if you didn't do your homework, do it from Friday. You need to finish your writing prompt too. And everyone else, or you may read for AR. Thank you guys for joining. See you later.
I have a question.
Yes, I'm listening. I'm just erasing while listening.
How can I ice my foot and read at the same time?
How can you what?
Ice my foot and read at the same time.
I don't know. Put your foot up on something and balance it, and then, read a book. Go on YouTube and find an audio book. Listen to a book.
Got it. Bye.
I was not talking to you. All right, see you later.